As we start out the meat of this review, I just want to point out that, as I said earlier, this film highlights an era of history and an era of George Washington's life that we don't often talk about. His half-brother Lawrence is one, and after his father dies, tragically, his brother Lawrence becomes one of his big mentors, and he wants nothing more than to follow his brother into the British service. And he actually goes to some officers in the British Army and says, this is what I want to serve with you guys. But he persists, and he eventually gets a command spot with the militia. He first goes to negotiate with the French because the British want the French to leave the territory that they're in. So that prompts George Washington and the men that are with him to fight them. And they set up a fort called Fort Necessity, and they end up losing the skirmish that they had with them and losing it pretty badly. And then the British officers are like, George, what did you do? You basically launched us into war, and George leaves with his tail between his legs. The only thing he wanted to do was to be a British officer. That's never going to happen now. So how do you deal with that setback? And it's interesting to think about if he had succumbed to that, if he had said, because I failed at that, I am not going to try to be a soldier anymore. And I'm definitely not going to try to be an officer of the British Crown because I tried and I failed. But the reason that he's a founding father and the reason that we talk about him today is because he did not give up, because he persisted.